The moment the front door swung open, something felt wrong. A heavy silence filled the air, the kind that clung to your skin and whispered that something had been taken from you. Stepping inside, the emptiness hit like a punch to the gut. The couch, gone. TV, missing. Cabinets yawned open, stripped bare. Even the damn coffee maker had disappeared. A single note sat on the kitchen counter, written in her annoyingly perfect cursive, "You'll understand one day." The bedroom was the worst. The closet doors hung open, exposing nothing but wire hangers. The bed, stripped to its bones, felt like a crime scene. A drawer dangled out of the nightstand, its contents scattered. Jewelry, clothes, even the wedding album, vanished. Ashley had planned this. A week ago, she stood in the kitchen, swirling wine in her glass like she was about to deliver a TED Talk. "Listen, babe," she had said, smiling as if she were discussing dinner plans. "I think we should open our marriage." The words had landed with the weight of a wrecking ball. She kept talking, eyes full of feigned innocence. "It's not that I don't love you. I do. But I also love excitement, you know? New experiences. We'd still be us, just, with options." Back then, it sounded like a sick joke. But now, standing in the remains of what used to be a shared life, the punchline finally landed. She hadn't been looking for options. She'd been looking for an exit. And she took everything on her way out. That's when the second gut punch hit. The safe. Yanking open the closet door, hands shaking, fingers fumbling with the code, nothing. Cleaned out. Every last dollar. The emergency stash, the documents, gone. Ashley didn't just leave. She wiped me out. And the worst part? She did it with a smile. The air felt stale, like the walls were still holding their breath, waiting for me to react. My hands hovered over the empty safe, the cold metal mocking me. I should have seen this coming. The little signs had been there, scattered through the past few months like breadcrumbs leading straight to this moment. Ashley had always been good at covering her tracks. The late nights at work? Just a big project, babe. The new lingerie that never seemed to make an appearance at home? I just liked treating myself. The sudden obsession with her phone, flipping it over any time I walked into the room? Privacy is healthy in a marriage, Noah. The memory of her words clawed at my brain, every excuse she ever fed me now revealing itself as a carefully placed lie. This wasn't a heat-of-the-moment decision. She had planned this, probably for months. The longer I stood in the wreckage of my own home, the clearer it became. She wanted me blindsided, gutted. And most importantly, she wanted me to disappear quietly. Too bad for her, I wasn't built for that. I grabbed my phone and scrolled through our last texts, looking for anything that might give me an edge. Nothing but a string of casual messages, each one more fake than the last. "Don't forget to grab milk on the way home, love you." A bitter laugh forced its way out. Love. Right. If she thought I'd just let her waltz off with everything, she had another thing coming. My fingers tightened around my phone, and before I knew it, I was dialing. The ring dragged on longer than usual before it finally connected. "Yo, Noah. What's up, man?" Connor's voice was like a rope pulling me back to reality. My best friend since college, the one person I could trust when the world decided to implode. "She took everything," I said, my voice sharp, edged with something dangerous. A pause. "Wait, what?" "Gone. The apartment's empty, the safe's cleaned out. She played me, man. Set this up for months." The line crackled with silence before Connor finally spoke. "Where are you right now?" "Home. Or, what's left of it. Don't move." "I'm coming." The call ended, and I exhaled, running a hand through my hair. I needed to think. Ashley wasn't just leaving me, she was erasing me. The money wasn't just stolen, it was strategic. She wanted to leave me with nothing, force me into a corner while she walked off into her new life with Greg, or whoever the hell she was screwing. But she made one mistake. She thought I'd be too broken to do anything about it. 15 minutes later, the roar of Connor's engine broke through the stillness outside. The moment he stepped inside, his eyes scanned the room, taking in the damage. His jaw clenched. "Jesus, man," he muttered. "She really did a number on you." I gestured toward the safe. "Cleaned me out." He whistled low. "You call the cops?" I shook my head. "And tell them what?" "Hey, my wife stole my money and ran off with her boss. They'll call it a civil matter. Besides, she's smart. Probably made sure nothing was in my name." Connor exhaled sharply. "So what's the plan?" "The plan? There was only one way to play this. I wasn't going to beg, and I sure as hell wasn't going to chase after her, looking for closure. Closure was for people who still had something left to lose. I needed to disappear before she could bury me completely." My lips curled into a smirk as the idea solidified. "I'm gonna vanish first." Connor's brows knitted. "What do you mean?" I stepped forward, the tension in my chest uncoiling into something sharper. "She wants to erase me, right? Make me desperate, force me to crawl back so she can rub it in?" "Nah. I'm flipping the script. If she wants to ghost me, I'll become a damn phantom." He stared for a second before his face split into a grin. "You're gonna make her regret this, aren't you? More than she ever thought possible." It was time to turn the game on her. Connor leaned against the counter, arms crossed, his eyes scanning the empty apartment like it was a crime scene. "All right, I'm in. But if you're really gonna disappear, you need a solid plan. You can't just ghost and hope she notices." "She'll notice," I muttered, pacing the living room. The stripped-down space felt smaller, suffocating. I need to make it look like I didn't just leave, I need to make it look like I never existed in the first place. Connor's brow lifted. "That's some next-level gone you're talking about." "Exactly. Ashley thinks she won. She's expecting me to break down, crawl back, beg for an explanation. I won't give her the satisfaction." Connor pushed off the counter, rubbing his jaw. "All right, step 1. What do you still have in your name?" I exhaled through my nose. "Not much. The lease was in both our names, but I bet she's already filing to remove me." "The bank account?" "Joint. She cleaned it out." His eyes flickered with something sharp. "Car?" "My name. One of the few things she couldn't touch." "Good," he nodded. "You're taking that and getting the hell out of here. Cancel your phone, wipe your social media, don't leave a trace." It was a solid start, but I needed to take it further. My fingers flexed at my sides as I thought through the details. "I'll ditch my number, set up a new account under a different name. I've still got my passport, she didn't take that." Connor grinned. "Damn, man. You're going full ghost mode. She wants me erased? I'll show her what erased really looks like." He clapped a hand on my shoulder. "All right, let's get to work." 3 hours later, my life was in boxes, or at least, the parts of it that still belonged to me. Clothes, laptop, a few personal items. I left everything else behind, like shedding dead weight. Connor leaned against my car, watching as I packed the trunk. "Where you heading?" I zipped my bag, slamming the trunk shut. "Not sure yet. Far enough that she'll have no clue where to find me. I'll figure it out on the road." He nodded. "Good. Make sure you stay off the grid. No credit cards, no paper trail. If she wants to find you, make her work for it." I smirked. "Trust me, she won't even know where to start. We stood in silence for a beat, the weight of everything settling between us. Then Connor grinned. Man, I wish I could see her face when she realizes you didn't just roll over and take it. Oh, she'll notice, I said, sliding into the driver's seat. And when she does, she's gonna hate it. With that, I pulled out of the parking lot, leaving behind the wreckage of a life I no longer recognized. The first night was surreal. A motel 2 towns over, a cheap bed, and the realization that I had just burned everything to the ground. No job, no home, no money. But for the first time in weeks, I felt alive. The next morning, I bought a burner phone, transferred what little cash I had left into a new account, and started fresh. My old number? Disconnected. My social media? Wiped. Ashley had taken everything. But I was about to take something bigger. Her control. The burner phone stayed silent. No missed calls, no messages. It had been 3 days since I disappeared, and the longer the silence stretched, the more I knew Ashley had noticed. She had expected tears, rage, desperate phone calls demanding answers. Instead, she got nothing. The power shift was already happening. I sat in a dimly lit diner on the outskirts of town, nursing a black coffee while my mind ran through every angle. Ashley had blindsided me, taken everything, but she underestimated one thing, my ability to adapt. A phone vibrated a few booths away, and for a split second, my gut clenched before I reminded myself it wasn't mine. My real number was gone. No one could reach me unless I wanted them to. Connor had sent a short text to the burner earlier, "She's looking for you." I smirked. Of course she was. Ashley didn't get to play puppet master anymore. She had orchestrated my downfall, but now the strings were cut. She thought she was the one in control, but in reality, she was about to feel exactly what it was like to lose everything. I tapped a message back to Connor. Good. Let her wonder. By day 5, she cracked. Connor called from an unlisted number, his voice laced with amusement. Man, you should have seen her at the office today. I leaned back in the motel chair, stretching my legs out. Tell me. She was pissed. Stormed in like she owned the place, asking if anyone had heard from you. Apparently, she's checked your old apartment 3 times, even called your mom. She's spiraling, bro. I exhaled slowly, the satisfaction settling deep in my chest. She really thought I'd just sit there and take it. Connor chuckled. Oh, it gets better. Word is, Greg, yeah, her boss, is acting distant. Apparently, he didn't sign up for a messy, dramatic runaway bride situation. She might have thought she was upgrading, but looks like he's already got cold feet. I grinned. So she lost the money and the backup plan? Looks like it. Perfect. Ashley had built her new life on the assumption that I'd still be lingering in the background, orbiting her decisions, waiting for scraps. She needed me to react, to explode, to confirm that she still had control over me. Instead, I had become a ghost. And ghosts don't play by the rules. A week in, I made my first move. Ashley was comfortable in chaos, she thrived in situations where she could manipulate emotions. But what she wasn't prepared for was complete uncertainty. I sent her a single message. Not a call. Not a long-winded text. Just one simple line from an unknown number. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? That was it. No explanation. No context. Just enough to wedge doubt into whatever little security she had left. The response came within minutes. Who is this? I didn't reply. Because nothing messes with a manipulator more than silence. 800. ChatGPT. Part 5, Breaking Her Mindset. The message was a hook, and I knew Ashley couldn't resist biting. She needed control like oxygen, and my silence would strangle her. Another text came 10 minutes later. Noah, if this is you, grow up. You're acting like a child. I smirked at the irony. This, coming from the woman who stole everything and expected me to collapse. She didn't deserve a response. The next morning, Connor called again, his laughter echoing through the line before I even said hello. Bro, she's losing it. I leaned against the hood of my car, coffee in one hand, phone in the other. Tell me everything. She called my office pretending to be concerned about you, saying she's worried and hasn't heard from you in days. Real Oscar-worthy performance. I sipped my coffee. What did you tell her? That I hadn't heard from you either. The best part? She started rambling, saying she doesn't know why you're ignoring her. Like she didn't try to erase you from existence. I exhaled a laugh, shaking my head. She needs me to react. She wants proof that I still care, that she still has some kind of power over me. Exactly. And since you're not giving her that, she's spiraling. Connor hesitated. You want to know the real kicker? Always. She tried to withdraw more cash from the joint account. My grip on the cup tightened. What joint account? She cleaned it out. Yeah, well, she must have missed something because she went back looking for more. Guess what? There was nothing left. Good. I had closed every loophole, every avenue she could use to squeeze more out of me. But this wasn't just about money anymore. This was about wrecking her. That night, I sent the second message. Funny how quickly things fall apart, huh? I imagined her face, the way her lips would press together, the little crease that formed between her brows when things didn't go her way. She was expecting me to lash out, to demand answers. Instead, I was just a ghost, whispering from the shadows. Her reply came faster this time. Noah, enough. If you want to talk, just say it. She was cracking. I left her on read. The longer she stewed in uncertainty, the better. 2 days later, Connor dropped another bombshell. She showed up at Greg's place. I nearly choked on my drink. Oh, this just keeps getting better. She was yelling, bro, straight up screaming outside his house. I heard she accused him of using her and throwing her away. I grinned. Let me guess, he's done with her. Completely. Didn't even let her inside. Apparently, his wife found out about the affair, and now he's in full damage control mode. Last thing he needs is a crazy side chick showing up at his house. I leaned back, the satisfaction settling deep. Ashley had lost everything. The money. The safety net. The man she thought was an upgrade. And I wasn't even finished yet. I texted her one last time. You should have been more careful. Then I blocked her number. Let her sit in the ruins of her own making. Ashley must have been losing her mind by now. No money, no Greg, no idea where I was. Every move she had planned had collapsed like a house of cards, and I wasn't even done with her yet. Connor sent another update the next morning. She tried calling your mom again. Of course, she did. Ashley wasn't used to being ignored, and she was running out of ways to get to me. What did my mom say? That she doesn't know where you are and wouldn't tell her even if she did. Connor snorted. Your mom never liked her, man. She probably enjoyed shutting her down. I chuckled. Good. Let her feel the walls closing in. Silence was my weapon now. And it was eating her alive. By the end of the week, Ashley cracked. She showed up at Connor's office unannounced. I got the text while sitting in a quiet diner, halfway through breakfast. Connor, she's here. Wants to talk to you. What do you want me to do? I stared at the message, letting it sit for a moment. Ashley must have been desperate if she was showing up in person. She probably expected me to cave. To let her explain, to argue, to give her some kind of reaction. But she still didn't get it. I was done playing by her rules. I typed back. Tell her I moved on. That I don't care anymore. A few minutes passed before Connor sent his update. Connor, dude, she looked like she was gonna throw up. She kept asking where you are. I told her you're gone for good, starting fresh somewhere else. She just stood there, silent, then walked out. I smirked. She wanted closure. She wasn't getting it. Later that night, I got another text from Connor. She went to your old apartment again. She stood outside for a while. Looked like she was waiting for you to show up. I could picture it perfectly. Ashley, standing there, her confidence shattered, her manipulations useless now. She had built her world around control, controlling me, controlling situations, always having a backup plan. But now? Now she had nothing. I let out a slow breath, staring at my phone. This was it. The moment where I could finally say I won. Ashley had played her little game, convinced she held all the power. But in the end, I was the one who disappeared first. And she was the one left behind, drowning in the mess she created. Ashley wasn't done yet. I should have known she wouldn't just accept defeat. A woman like her didn't know how to lose. She had spent years perfecting the art of manipulation, making people dance to her tune. But this time, she was the one chasing shadows. Connor called late that night. She's trying to track you down, bro. She asked around the office, even called your old gym. She's desperate, I muttered, pacing the motel room. Yeah, and get this, she even reached out to Greg again. I stopped mid-step. You're joking. Connor laughed. Nope. Apparently, she begged him to fix things between them. He shut her down cold. Didn't even let her finish talking. Damn. She was officially out of options. Greg didn't want her. I was gone. She had no money, no backup plan, nothing to hold on to. It was time to end this. The next morning, I sent her the last message she'd ever get from me. You don't get to come back from this. Simple. Final. I didn't wait for a response. Didn't need one. I blocked her for good, cutting off the last thread that connected us. She had made her bed. Now she could lie in it, alone. Later that night, Connor called again. She came back to the office today. I sighed. Let me guess, one last attempt to get sympathy. Worse. He hesitated. She looked broken. Like she finally realized she lost everything. A strange feeling settled in my chest. I thought I'd enjoy this moment more. But all I felt was relief. She did this to herself, I said. She thought she could use me and walk away without consequences. Connor exhaled. So, what now? Now? Now I moved on. Ashley wasn't my problem anymore. She was just a ghost, fading into the past. The finality of it all hit as I sat alone in another nameless motel, the neon lights outside buzzing faintly through the thin curtains. Ashley had tried every trick in the book, manipulation, guilt, playing the victim, but none of it worked. She was finished. But even knowing that, I couldn't shake the weight pressing against my chest. Not regret. Not sadness. Just a deep realization that everything I had built with her was a lie. Connor's text came through late that night. She left town. Moved out of the apartment. Guess she finally got the message. Good. She had spent weeks trying to reel me back in, but I was already too far gone. She wanted chaos, she wanted to watch me crumble, except I didn't. I adapted. I disappeared first. And in doing so, I became the one thing she couldn't control. I tapped out a final message to Connor. We're done talking about her. She doesn't exist anymore. And with that, I powered down the burner phone and tossed it into the motel trash can. Ashley had taken everything from me, thinking I'd break. Instead, I walked away with something far more valuable. Freedom.